shame this parrot never learnt to talk. 97 years of banter and business between the country's most powerful and prominent would make for colourful listening.
Politicians could come here, they could relax, they mix with the media, mix with the opposition, and you'd have a great time. Plus, it was open late. You could smoke, which was, for a lot back then was the big thing, and the food was fantastic.
From Muldoon Moor through to Keanardern, the Green Parrot is an unofficial extension of Parliament.
It was also sort of discreet, and it was sort of like the demilitarised zone. People, MPs would come here, whatever scraps and rows they might have been having at Parliament. It didn't happen here.
John Key walked in and he said g'day, went to his seat, and then about 10 minutes later he came back with a bottle of Steinlager or whatever and sat down and had a yarn for about 30 minutes. Here was the Prime Minister of New Zealand talking to these guys, and some of them were just gobsmacked.
And there's one person more likely to turn up than others.
This is the natural habitat of the political creature known as Winston Peters. This is the natural habitat where that particular political creature likes to come after dark.
Peters and his parrot, one of the most enduring partnerships in New Zealand political history.
The first thing you did when you walked into the Green Parrot was, oh yeah, who's here? Oh, Winston. And of course Winston was by far the most famous customer of them all. It really made it his place. Fantastic food, the biggest meals you've ever seen in your life.
Now he's back in the capital, you can bet the Deputy Prime Minister will be visiting every chance he gets.
Winston would usually sit at the end of the table right here, but he also likes to mingle with all the customers as well. Sometimes we like to draw the curtains, just to give Winston and his party a little bit of privacy.
Green Parrot history is the stuff of folklore. It opened in 1926, fast becoming popular among dock workers, police officers and American servicemen during the Second World War. In the 1970s, MPs started pouring through the door and they never stopped.
It provided good food, but more importantly, it was open late. So you think you're an MP, you finish 10:30 at night, where are you going to go?
But that may change. After more than 50 years, the Sakufakis family is selling up.
When my father took over the restaurant with my other uncle Angelo in 1987, I was 11 then, and I donned a bow tie and a white shirt, and I served the very first customers that came through. There's been, sweat, tears and blood spilt in the restaurant,
Now, the end of an era for Chris and his 83-year-old father, Costa.
It's been a roller coaster ride emotionally, actually, and just coming across things that bring back, memories and stuff. It's been very emotional.
Among the files and photos, a piece of political history.
It's the wine box from the wine box inquiry. So I've been looking in our storeroom for it, but haven't tracked it down yet. I'm not too sure how we ended up with it, but it's in the building.
A mystery for another day. Now, these walls can't talk, but former politicians, pundits and waitstaff speak fondly of a place where generations of true blue Wellingtonians have rubbed shoulders with prime ministers, movie stars and even sporting greats. There have been late night sing-alongs, projectile butter cubes and even the odd dine and dash.
Out the door, guy's doing a runner. Now, unfortunately, I recognised him. He was a friend of mine. He's a judge now. Shortly after the runner came the chef and the waiter, and they're all taking off down the street. Problem was he could never come back to the Green Parrot again. And that was probably the worst punishment of all.
Like anywhere that's been around for this long, there's been a bit of scandal.
I don't think the normal laws of New Zealand applied in the earlier days in the Green Parrot.
But you'll be hard-pressed to get the details.
We do have a golden rule in here. What happens in the Green Parrot stays in the Green Parrot.
As the Sakufakis family prepares to sell, it's also preserving some artefacts.
This Green Parrot water vessel probably dates from around the 1960s. And this is the grill plate that was at the Green Parrot from around 1932. And apparently, so the legend goes, it was made out of melted down gun barrels from World War I.
And another legend is still working the grill and mingling with customers after all these years.
58 years, something like that. We'll have to buy some business, make some little bit of money. And about it.
Costa Sakufakis knows running a restaurant is a young man's game, but he has no plans to fly the coop.
I'm gonna miss it. If we ever buy the place, I'll apply to stay. Don't want to pay. Just want to be here,